Hey there, guys. We're going to be going to the Grace of Flame trial, and we're going to be taking a Genesis friend to try them out on the firefight. So we're going to be taking FFBEJ. Now, he's an EX1 Genesis, but it's going to be totally fine because his main damage is his meteor thingy. So we're going to be taking a pretty classic fire team. Rain's going to be the leader, Dwayne for support chaining, Leonard for the field, Vaughn for breaking, and Ash for... mostly for Machine Killer, honestly. Okay, so because Genesis does need a little bit of setup, we're going to not be like, turn 1 OTK and everything. But let's go ahead and have Lena do her LB. Let's have Vaughn do Oil, Flaming... Nope, wrong one. Vaughn is going to do Oil, True Expose, and Mirage. We're going to start Ash in the base and go to the shift and do her shifted LB. We're going to use Dwayne to Oath, Blood Shield, and Armor Ravage. Genesis, because it's only EX1, and we're not going to use the Meteor on the first fight because it would start the next fight at 0 MP, and we don't want that. So we're going to, So we're going to use Fill LB, whatever skill, and then Preface. And then Rain is going to start in the shift in Farega, Human Killer, and True Undermine. So the first turn is going to be basically just set up as we get going, and then we're going to OTK Kielma to move on to the next fight. Now, if I had my own Genesis, honestly speaking, it's very likely that I could do like a double Genesis and just turn 1 OTK both of these fights, but I don't. So now we're going to have Vaughn do his LB. That'll get rid of a Mirage stack. We're going to use Ash to triple physical attack to get rid of more Mirage stacks. Rain, shifted LB. We're going to save the Magnus on Dwayne and just do Absolute Mirror of Equity 3 times. We're going to do the LB of Genesis, and then we're going to Scarlet Wave to support chain it. Okay, let's go ahead and give it a go. And this should kill off the... almost sneezed. Yeah, that should kill off Kielma, and there we go. The first fight is relatively squishy, had a turn of setup, but good handle. Okay, so Tato is a little bit trickier because we're going to be focusing Genesis, and if you hit Tato, he does a fixed attack that bypasses cover, and a focusing unit like Genesis would take a ton of damage if we did that. So we're just not going to hit the boss at all on turn 1. So we're going to focus. We're going to use Dwayne to Imbue, Blood Shield, and Hellfire Infusion. We're going to use his Magnus on this fight. Rain, we're not going to hit the boss. We're going to end Farega, Human Killer, and Armor Grant Me Power. Ash will just do... don't hit the boss. We're going to do Shelga twice, and then a cover. Vaughn will just do his Magnus Break. That way it doesn't actually deal any damage. And Lena can summon Lakshmi for the healing. Now, because we never dealt a single point of damage to the boss, he will not counter. We're not going to have that crazy fixed attack, which if we did counter, that fixed attack would probably kill the Genesis friend because focusing makes you take double damage from magical type stuff, and it bypasses cover. Anyway, so that was fine. Now let's go ahead and just finish off this boss completely. So we're going to Shifted LB our Ash, we'll SLB our Vaughn. Lena... we'll just refresh her LB, because why not? Dwayne will now do his Atonement and Absolution. Genesis will cap it with his Purgatory. And Rain will do the Shifted LB. So the Purgatory is a very quick hit. So we're going to send the Chainers first, then we're going to click on Purgatory. So do this, then click on Purgatory. And boom. So about 9 billion on Tato with that turn. We didn't even use his big amplify, but yeah, pretty strong damage. Now the next fight we are going to, we're not going to even try to deal damage on turn 1. It'd honestly be kind of pointless. But here's the big issue of this fight. We'll go ahead and SLB you to get your thing back recharged. The issue here is that Rain is a trance shift, so... it's going to really mess up. We're going to go ahead and stack his LB, though. But it's going to really mess up our timing because of that. So we're just going to guard Genesis for now. Ash will go back to the base form, where we're going to Shelga, Cover, and Magic Break. Vaughn will Mirage, defense, and attack break. Lena can, honestly, not much to do here. We can shift this turn, and really nothing to do. Eccentric, whatever. Anyway, so we're going to be waiting till turn 6 to kill the boss. Now, we could easily kill the boss on turn 5 if Rain wasn't a really long trance shift. So, kind of awkward. We got to wait multiple turns to do this. Now, Rain's back in the base form, so we're going to wait 4 turns to we're back out of the base form. So, for here, we're just going to do Infrarega. We're not going to guard him because that would lose his shifted LB stack. We will do Oath. Honestly, just Oath with you. We're just waiting. We're gonna start setting up on turn 3 for setups. So you can repeat. Yeah, we're just really just hanging out for the moment because we're killing on turn 6 because of the stupid trance thing. Okay, so some attack. I think we get dispelled next turn. Alright, so we'll go ahead and have Genesis do his SLB this turn for that Sword in Peril. We are getting dispelled this coming turn, so we'll just keep doing a bunch of setup. Okay, and we're going to start getting ready for the big burst on turn 6. So there's some status effects, super irritating, but Lena is using Panacea to deal with it. Now, we did get completely dispelled, so we're going to once again put up all that with these guys. We're going to do Loveless Final Verse with Genesis. Dwayne will Oath, Blood Shield, and not much else matters. Alright, Flaring Rain will go ahead and just do his fill LB thing. We'll do the Freedom. Honestly, no reason to do all that. Let's just imbue that. I mean, we'll fill LB this turn, why not? Okay, so we're going to get ready to kill for real next turn. Now, you know, we could kill on turn 5, like I said, but Rain is a terrible, terrible trance shifter, and we hate trance shifters, but it's the way it is. So we're going to shift Ash, and we're going to do Machine. Actually, we're going to do the shifted LB of Ash on this turn. Vaughn will just Mirage again. So we'll do his same type stuff. We'll do Mirage, Oil, and Fiery Smash. We'll have Lena do her shifted LB this turn. For the break, Rain will do True Undermine, Elemental Burst Fire, and his cooldown. Dwayne will do nothing. We'll just wait. So Oath, you know, honestly, whatever. And then we'll go ahead and get ready with Genesis. So we'll do whatever, Elemental Burst, and Preface Loveless. And we're going to be bursting next turn when Rain can finally shift and do his thing. Now, Rain did lose his modifier buff because, you know, turn 5 kind of sucks. But whatever. So unfortunately, the stupid boss status affected me again. So I'll just go ahead and Panacea that with Lena. Vaughn can SLB. Ash will go ahead and do... Now, because Genesis is going to hit the damage cap regardless, we'll have Ash do a bigger machine killer on Rain. Rain will shift here. Scarlet Eruption. Dwayne will Magnus. And we will cap it with our Genesis, who unfortunately is only going to deal 10 billion damage. Yeah, see? Oh my god, Genesis, why? Why Genesis, the one-hit cap? Could have done so much more with a fully powered burst, but it's completely wasted damage. Completely wasted. So we did all missions, and I'll go ahead and show you the team's gear. So Ash, in the shift form, is using some auto-buffing, some fire and dark resist. There it is. There's the setup. We are not provoking with Ash. Base form, mostly the same, a little bit more bulk. Same stuff. Vaughn, passive provoking. You don't need death immunity. That's just a default build for me. Some chainer stuff, but we didn't actually use that anyway. So there it is, and he was just the breaker. Lena in both forms are using Riku's pouch. We never actually used Tome of Lakshmi, ignore that. Scarlet Wave, and yeah, just a field basically. Flaring Rain is 16-7 attack power. There it is, capped on everything. Some chain speed, maxed LB, maxed human, maxed machine. Dwayne, not going to look good damage here because, these fights are not kind to him. He's more of a Clash of Wills unit. But there it is. There's his setup. I think he's maxed on everything. Let's find out in a second. Oh my god, that machine killer. Oh, his machine killer is real bad. Yeah, yep, let's move right along. And then Genesis, this is the friend at EX1 with range leader skill, 13.4 magic, 6.8 MP. There it is, using his own STMR, and then the meteor card, and he is maxed on human and machine killer. So we're good. Let's give it a go, and let's see how the damage breakdown looks. So it's not going to actually look that great because Genesis can only deal 10 billion, which kind of feels bad. Honestly speaking, this clear probably could have been a little better with the double rain, but let's find out. Let's find out. Oh, hey, look at that. Genesis actually did, even with the cap, still did way more damage because, yeah, he did like 10 billion on the second fight and then 10 billion in the third fight, and then whatever his LB did on the first fight. So yeah, pretty good. Genesis, very strong unit. Damage cap kind of sucks, but there it is. And just like Dwayne, Genesis really doesn't love these multi-stage fights because the reason we didn't use the meteor in the first fight is because if we had done that, we would have gone into the second fight at 0 mana, and we couldn't have done any setup at all on turn 1, unless we use like an elixir or something. So yeah, so that's the way we did that. But anyway, there's just a quick reclear on Grace of Flame, 2 to 6 turns, so 10 turns, not bad. Okay, see you in a bit.